Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of the UAW Organizing Watch. Today is May the 7th, 2024. The headline is that the UAW loses the vote at Mercedes-Benz in Alabama. I'm Merrick Masters, Professor Emeritus, commentator, podcaster, who can be reached at mastersmerrick@gmail.com. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, Merrick Masters. The National Labor Relations Board has reported today that the workers at the Vance, Alabama plant voted by a 56.4% majority to oppose the UAW as its bargaining representatives. The number of yes votes was 43.6%, indicating that a sizable majority oppose UAW representation at the site. This is despite the fact that the UAW reportedly petitioned the National Labor Relations Board with a supermajority of authorization card signatures. What's next is the obvious question. For the UAW, it will pursue whatever legal remedies exist. It may believe that there were unfair labor practices committed that should nullify the results of the election and result in either the NLRB imposing mandatorily bargaining recognition or that another election be held in which there is a more pristine environment. The UAW will also have to analyze why it lost. It could include the premature filing of an election petition with the National Labor Relations Board, the lack of sufficiently intense support for the union to translate a supermajority in authorization card signatures into actual election votes. It could also be a result of the nature of employer opposition or the role of outside forces that oppose the UAW representation, and that would include high-level elected officials in Alabama. What's next for employers? They'll want to learn lessons from what Mercedes did to succeed in defeating the UAW at this particular site. What implications does it have for their own employee relations and management personnel, their managerial style at operating facilities, the role of corporate headquarters, and how harmonious the relationship is between headquarters and local sites, the sophistication of management arguments against union representation and how well they're received by workers, and the intensity of opposition to the UAW in the community, at the work site among certain workers, and also in the surrounding areas. When it considers the unfair labor practice situation and whether or not it might have tainted the results, the UAW, it's important to keep in mind, filed charges against Mercedes-Benz with the German government. These are briefly spelled out in this note here on this slide. And also the UAW has filed several unfair labor practice charges with the National Labor Relations Board against Mercedes-Benz since January of this year, charging the company with unlawful conduct with regard to discharging or laying off employees, making coercive statements or issuing coercive rules, and taking other kinds of disciplinary actions associated with employees exercising their concerted activity rights under the National Labor Relations Act. I hope you'll stay tuned. We'll be following the situation closely to see what the actual next steps are and what more we can say about where the organizing campaign the UAW launched in November of last year stands in trying to organize the 13 non-union producers in the United States. Thank you and have a good day.